Hello viewers, Enjoy Tactics here, and today I will be demonstrating my faster smelting system. So what this allows you to do is it allows you to smelt things faster, as the name suggests. So for example, if I get out a single furnace, the single humble furnace, I'll place it down there, and we can match it up against the speed of this system here. Now the way this system works, ignoring this part and all the comparators jutting out of these hoppers here, ignoring this part for now, if we go over here and we take away those comparators and all these lines of redstone, that's what it is basically. It is going to take whatever you put in here, it's going to distribute it evenly into these furnaces, so these furnaces can cook it, and then it's going to recombine them back into this chest. Now, having a few furnaces cook something, instead of just one furnace cooking a whole bunch of things, that's gonna help you out a lot. Now, of course, it might cost more. It might cost more fuel, and it's definitely gonna cost a lot of resources to make. But I think in the long run, if you're looking for speed and getting things smelted quickly, this is definitely the way to go. So, I'm gonna need some coal. Let's use coal blocks. Okay, so I'm going to use 10 pieces of raw chicken in this furnace and in the system. So, here we go. To be fair, I'm going to put it in this furnace first so it gets a head start. Okay, and then I'll put it in the system. And as you can see, it's slowly absorbing all the raw chicken. Alright, so here we have one. And I'm sure it's distributing. And it will eventually cook everything. And we're going to get... Oh, wow. Look at that. We already have 5. And here we have 2. Oh. It appears as if it is working at 10. All done. We have 3 here, and it's still cooking, and it's going to take some time. So, as you can see, this system works much faster than a single furnace alone, and the good thing is, it is expandable. So if you're willing to put in the resources, you can have an extremely fast smelting system, which can smelt a large number of items very quickly, rather than having a single furnace. So, this was the first prototype over here. Basically what it did, all it did, was take the items, distribute them along the furnaces, and then put them back. And of course, it used all these furnaces to cook them, to cook the items. And you may ask, what else could you possibly add on? That's all it does, right? It distributes it and cooks it faster, and that's the whole point. But there was a problem whenever I built the prototype, and I'm going to demonstrate this. Okay, so we're going to get out 10 pieces of chicken. And if I put 10 pieces of chicken in here, well, just what you'd expect happens. It's going to cycle through, and I didn't put fuel in these 5 furnaces. So 10 divided by 5 is 2. So you'd expect to get 2 pieces of raw chicken in each furnace, but that's not what we see, because some of them get stuck in here. And even if we did cook these and they went down into the chest, the reason I had to make this little extra bit here is because when you put in some items, they would get stuck, and we just cannot have that. A system cannot have things getting stuck. So as a temporary fix, I made this button. It allows things to drop down into the furnaces. All the items you put will drop down, and yeah, if they don't match, for example, if we have some beef and I put some beef in here, it's going to get stuck, and we're going to have to press this button once again, which is pretty annoying. So this completely fixes all that. And yeah, that was the prototype. Now I'm going to go over here and explain a little bit briefly how this works. Basically what this is going to do is it is going to make a comparison and an AND gate basically, and it's going to say if we have any items that are stuck in these hoppers, and the chest is fully cycled out, then we know that the items in these hoppers shouldn't still be there. Therefore, what we're going to do is we're going to send a signal telling it to empty them out and drop them down automatically, and you don't need to press any buttons or activate anything to do this. So sure, it is bigger. I'll give it that. It is bigger than this design, but it works automatically and it's better. And also, I would just like to say, I didn't copy this from anyone. I actually made this entirely independently, and then I searched it on YouTube, and I figured out that someone had already made something like this. But I do believe mine is more compact in its functionality, and I do believe it's better. So that's the whole reason that I'm taking time to upload mine when there already is one out. Usually, I won't just copy things and then repost them, unless I have something to add or I made something better. So, now is the time in the video where I show you how to build it. And I would just like to state that this is unnecessary. I just made this so that this chest isn't in the ground, because that would look ugly. For demonstration, I used droppers and this one-tick pulse clock in order to cycle the items up. That's the only reason we have that. You won't actually need that, so therefore your game won't lag. So now I'm going to show you how to build it. You're going to need a solid block, redstone torches, repeaters, you're going to need comparators, redstone obviously, you're going to need a sticky piston as well. I just like to order mine in this particular way. You're going to need furnaces and hoppers, obviously. Let's see. What else are we going to need? Well, you're going to need chests. And is there anything else that we would need? I think we have everything. Okay, so we're going to go on over here and we're going to build a completely separate module. And also you're going to need fuel, obviously, to fill all your furnaces with. But we'll get to that when we get to it. So what you want to start off with is a chest. It can also be a double chest. It really doesn't matter. I'm just going to put mine up in the air about this high. And now I'm going to put a double chest. Now what we want to do is have hoppers that are going this way. Now however many you want, or however fast you want it to go, as long as you're willing to put in the resources, that's how long you're going to make the hopper chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's go with 5, just so that I can cheat off of this example over here, and it's going to be the exact same. Okay, I just got a Skype message, and you probably heard that, but I'm going to ignore it for now. So, going to put hoppers like this, and let's see. Yeah, I'm totally copying off this other design. I can't remember everything. I'm going to try my best. So we have furnaces like that. So what's going to happen here is it's going to distribute everything along these hoppers when the system is finished into these furnaces. Now originally that's not what will happen. For example, if we get a stack of beef and we put it in this, they will all just go straight to the first furnace. And the reason for this is because they're just going to drop straight down from the first hopper to the second hopper and into the furnace. Now obviously this is a problem, and it completely undermines the entire reason we've built this system. It's to make things cook faster or smelt. So what we're going to do to fix this is we're going to have a comparator coming out like this, and we're going to have a block like that, torch. You can have a block there if you want. Then we're just going to lead a redstone line, like so. And actually, we're going to have a repeater. And this connecting is actually like a little mental reminder for me to put a repeater there. So, now that we have that, it's actually going to distribute them along the hoppers. And the way it works is because whenever one item reaches this hopper at the very end, you're going to have other items in these hoppers. And so what it's going to tell it to do is empty the hoppers and unlock these hoppers so that the items in all these hoppers are going to drop down evenly. So for example, I always like to provide examples. Now it's not going to go straight to the first hopper every single time. We're going to see this blink on, and every time an item reaches here, it's going to blink on again, drop everything down, and as you can see, we can check these furnaces 5, 5, 5, or 6, and then 7, and as you can see, it adds more. So it is going to evenly divide them all, and that's really convenient, because now we can cook them all individually, cook all these sets individually, and what we're going to do now is add hoppers like that, so that the finished product will drop down into the hoppers, and eventually make it to this chest right here. Okay, so now that we have that, this is identical to this right here. This is the prototype. So what it will do is we can give it some items, which I did. We're going to put in some fuel. We're going to use coal blocks. Don't want to run out. So I'm just going to put one in here. I'm going to put one in each, actually. That should be enough. One piece of coal block, I believe, is enough to cook an entire stack, so we should be perfectly good. We shouldn't run out anytime soon. So it's going to cook those and send them off to here. But the only problem is, like I said before, items are going to get stuck in this middle set of hoppers here. The reason is because in the very last cycle, when it drops the items down, these hoppers are never told to unlock. Therefore, they never do unlock and the items get stuck. You could add a button if you want to save yourself a lot of resources, but then you have to click it a whole bunch, and I just thought that I would put in more work and actually design a better system. So that's what I did. So here's what we're going to do. You want to have a comparator out here, because we need to tell if this chest has any more items than it's sending to the hoppers, because if it does, then we don't want to automatically send the middle row items on down to the furnaces. And I realize I'm not the best at explaining things, but I seriously hope I'm not confusing you too badly. So, just going to reference back to this again, and we're going to have a sticky piston going like this. This is going to be kind of like our AND gate. Okay, so now we're going to put blocks in front of these furnaces, and we're going to have comparators coming out, because we need to know if there are items in these hoppers. Because if there are items in these hoppers after the chest is empty, then we know they shouldn't still be there. They should be cycled through, and they're not. So we're going to tell it to empty out. And the way I did this was, I'm going to put repeaters like this. It's not the easiest to get through to all this. And it's going to go like this. You can tell I didn't plan this or practice building it before I made the video, because I have to constantly look back. But that's okay. Okay, so now that we have that, we're actually going to put the block here. And sticky piston's going to end up here. Okay, so it looks like I'm just going to do this instead. And that's going to work out just fine. So then we lead our redstone off to here, and this signal is going to be up here. So now the rest of the items have cycled down, they're going to cook, and so we had 4 that didn't make it, and now that we have implemented the system, they have made it to the furnaces, they're going to cycle down, and as you can see, 64 didn't leave anything out, and that would conclude our tutorial. Alright, so this is the final result of our furnace smelting system. It looks pretty good. It's not super compact, definitely not the most compact that it could be, but it is still, nevertheless, a great system to use, and it is much faster than a single furnace. So that's how you build it. I hope you guys enjoy, and I'm sorry I haven't made videos as frequently as I usually do. I usually make them maybe once every week or more, and I haven't made one in like over a month, so I apologize. I've just got so much homework from high school that I'm not used to. So the only reason I was able to find time to make this video is because we have an extra day off. So thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a rating, comment, and as always, subscribe.